different tonight. We playing the Stanley Parable. I really like this game, but like it's like so many different things that can happen. Kind of like life. So it's like I really don't know what to do. So if you played this game,
when Stanley, wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over. Completely
there was two
fresh.
doors here.
Everything should be. Oh, did something change?
Yeah, there's more
Stanley,
fucking doors.
Did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or? Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then.
But how y'all been?
Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oh, shit. We're gonna go this way. The door didn't close behind me. Alright. Well, I have no idea where we're going now. Like I've heard of this game. This is an old game, but like it's been around. So, but yeah, we back out here. You know what I'm saying? Salute my man.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
What the hell? All right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Cause see, you do it the right way, or the one way I done it, and then I went one way. He's like, "It says you're gonna escape. There's no fucking doors here now."
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from.
Well, I can't get out.
Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
All right. Yeah, this shit, 421. That's where we fucking started, big dog.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
As long as I'm not jump out and scare my punk ass.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay,
Bro.
Let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Hey, Lucy Goose, what are you doing, baby? Well, the fuck?
Now well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
So
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Please quit playing with me, dog.
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We
Are we
both
gonna
know
restart?
You didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
All right. See what I'm saying? Okay, now they got the yellow line.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Since when could I go here? 4B6? See, that's not even a fucking number. 4B5? Okay, maybe I'm tripping. Yeah, those aren't fucking numbers on the doors. Okay, that is 4. Okay. Hey, what up, human souls? How you doing?
The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction.
Have you played this game? Because I haven't. Like, I'm just now getting into it.
Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination? even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story?
I would reckon
Simply
so.
by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
I own none of this music. We playing the Stanley Parable. I'm chilling at my mama's house. I'm going real hard. I can't give it up. See, they want to see me boy. They give it up and lose all hope. But I ain't good like that. People going hit no. Hey, swinging on the rope and not by my neck. I never go down. Never go down like that. I beat it. I'm still in this hole. That means you're going though. I know this 006. Hey, I don't own this music and it's copyrighted. Y'all could play this shit. What do y'all got going on? Y'all check out my little post video. You know what I'm saying? Check that out. You know what I'm saying? I really hope this music ain't copyrighted.
Cut the music.
Please.
Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Do I need to take a picture of this motherfucker real quick? Hold on, I'm gonna take a picture of this motherfucker real quick. Phone. Cause that looks like a very important fern. Alright. Alright. Come on.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
We're gonna go this way now. Hey, see, this is the monitors again.
No, not again. Line,
Fuck.
How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Alright. Can we trust the line this time? Was there not doors there last time?
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. This all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
What you got for me? Okay. Alrighty, let's do it now, ready?
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
Happy.
Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Well,
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Alright, cool. But, you know, did y'all enjoy the snow if you were in part of the country that got a whole bunch of snow? You know what I'm saying? I had oh, great.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going?
We don't know where we're going.
Since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Alrighty. The confusion
Hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be.
Both doors
the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped?
1840.
Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay.
Restart.
I guess now we just wait, you know. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination.
And there
so
it
I
is.
hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Well, that's creepy. And we're starting over. With no... Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
This is how
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
See, I'm telling y'all, this shit makes no sense. See, see, I'm deviating.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
We're fucking stuck. Alrighty. I hope I don't get crushed again.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra
serious?
Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Okay.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
It doesn't make us feel weird that now that we know that we're in a video game?
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Is it gonna do anything, or are we stuck?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Alright, let's go. The jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
I had 36, that's my age. Okay. Man, what was the point of that? Now I can't jump anymore? Unless I'm in that circle?
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Boy, if y'all don't quit fucking playing with me.
You've got to be kidding me. You see,
And now we're about to fucking restart.
This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Okay. Well, the fuck is going on? Alrighty.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something. Oh. You don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. Oh, never mind. You're not a dork.
How do I squat? Oh. Hey, I gotta remember that fern. But I don't know for how long. Unless he was just giving me shit.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Okay. Okay.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore.
Like silver coins.
It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
The original remake, what's down here? Memory zone maintenance. Alright. Let's see what they talking about. That door didn't close. And there it went. Okay.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Is this where the serious room? Okay, so we'll go back out?
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait,
Please don't make me start.
hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
Yeah,
What's this? What's down here? Oh, no. Oh, God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny,
I like him.
with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Like I was playing earlier. I done something. I guess I went home and was like, okay, honey, I'm about to get the bread out the oven. I can't wait to hear all about your day at work. And then the narrator was like, you think somebody would marry you? You think you have a look? Yeah, I was like, hey, man, you hitting a little bit fucking deep right now, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Why would I wanna... Hold on, because this is my damn game. I'm gonna do this. Okay, there's nothing back here.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations.
Well,
Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day.
But
okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation. And I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
I do like treatise.
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise,
Don't make
manifesto.
me hit the button, dog.
Treatise, manifesto.
We gonna let him do it. We gonna sit here.
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise,
I'll turn that down a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Treatise, manifesto.
We into the new year.
Treatise,
We in there.
manifesto.
You know what I'm saying?
Treatise,
I'm sure this
manifesto.
year will, you know, this nigga
Treatise,
get on my nerves.
manifesto.
Dog, make your
Treatise,
mind up.
manifesto.
I don't want to hit
Treatise,
the skip button on you.
manifesto. Treatise,
I'm gonna let you do this shit till the next minute.
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise.
How you made your mind up yet, Big Daddy?
Treatise, manifesto.
Come on.
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
Gang.
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise.
You got an idea yet, Big Daddy?
Treatise,
Manifesto. Treatise. Manifesto.
Because I know if I hit that button, something's going to happen. And if I don't hit the button, something's going to happen.
Treatise.
I'll run around in circles. I'll give you another minute.
Manifesto. Treatise. Manifesto. Treatise. Manifesto.
Hey, what up?
Manifesto.
Hey, I hear something happening.
Manifesto. Treatise. Manifesto. Treatise. Manifesto. Treatise.
Come on, Big Daddy.
Treatise. Manifesto. Treatise. Manifesto.
After we get another minute, we're going to hit the button. He's going to have to stop eventually.
Manifesto. Treatise. Manifesto. Treatise. Manifesto.
Oh, man.
Treatise. Manifesto.
Come on, big dog.
Treatise.
They'll make me hit the skip button.
Treatise.
And that's what I heard, that damn fan.
Treatise. Manifesto. Treatise. Manifesto. Treatise. Manifesto.
Alright,
well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review,
hey,
or
what
at
up?
least
How
change
y'all
some
doing,
of the wording.
man? You know what I'm saying? We playing something new.
I don't
Stanley
even know if
Parable.
one can
It's
change
crazy
the review in
if
the
you've
first
ever
place.
played it. Give me some
I guess I should become better
tips or
educated
whatever.
on how
I was
exactly
gonna play Remedy
pressurized
too,
gas works.
but I ain't talked to Oz today,
Perhaps
so I don't know
that
if he
would
was
have been
trying
a
to get
smart
on.
thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button.
Always
Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review merely because of this very situation.
Oh, come on, big dog.
I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with pressurized gas altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality.
I can get down with that. That sounds pretty good. Narrator, what are we doing? I don't want to hit the skip button. I don't know what I would be skipping. Come on, Big Daddy. What are we doing? Do I hit the button again? I'm going to hit the button again.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know
There's no door here
isn't it?
now.
But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here?
Yeah.
Where did the door go?
Do we have
Wasn't
to
there a
fucking
door
restart?
that led into this room?
Yes,
I
yes
don't
there
feel
was.
quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place?
What
I don't
is
think
going
one can enter a
on?
room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there?
Yes.
I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button.
All right, Mr.
Got it?
Harry.
Yes, good. I'll be right back.
Okay. But if I press the skip, see, I don't know how long they're gonna want me to wait. Like, I need a guide or something for this game, but since we're sitting here waiting. Now, how's your new year been so far? Has it been eventful? You know what I'm saying? Life is life, you know what I'm saying? But with that, you know what? We gonna, and y'all don't be doing it. We gonna smoke us a cigarette while we wait on the narrator to come back. I don't know where my lighter is, so we gonna light one off the oven. You know what I'm saying? Hood style. Man, it is still very cold, but man, that snow was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Dun, 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 dun. The narrator, where you at? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, hey, I'm on my fat boy stuff. I got a Reese's Lava Cup. I got a Reese's Big Cup Caramel. I got 2 honey buns. And I'll go pull up on my mama because she sleep. And I'll hit her up for a Diet Sun Drop. I'm not gonna lie to you. Do you know how weird it is being 36 and at your mama's house? Like, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? But you know, it's cool though, cause I'm chilling with the older kids. We be hanging out and shit. You know what I'm saying? But they're hermits. They be in their room, I be in mine, or I be in the living room. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's all good. You know, what Mike Tyson say? I'm happy. You know, they can't, you know, I ain't got nothing. They can't take nothing from me anymore. And that's crazy. How are you happy poor? That's because you gotta learn to appreciate and value the little things that you do have in life before life teaches you. You know, you don't know the value of something until it's gone. You know what I'm saying? If, you know, you're one of those kind of people. Or, you know, you can see the beauty and wonderment in what you already have in life. You know, be like that. Be that kind of person. Appreciate all you have in your life. Is the narrator gonna fucking come back? You know. Oh no, there you go, but you don't know what you got till it's gone, you know. So appreciate those things in your life, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate whoever here with me. It's probably still 7 people. Salute them. Salute all the new subscribers. Salute D Slim No G. If your life sucks right now, just hold on, because it's gonna get better. You know, eventually, like, time's a motherfucker, man. That reminds me of a Culture Club song. Time won't give me time, and time make lovers feel like they got something real. Such and such and such and but time won't give me time. Hey, y'all got out of here. I started singing. It's all good. Fuck y'all. Is the narrator gonna come back, or do I gotta hit the skip button? How long do I gotta wait for the narrator to come back? Narrator, where you at, big baby? If you're here, and if you played this game before, this is my first time, and I am waiting on the narrator to come back. He told me not to press the skip button, so I'm not gonna press the skip button, but his ass has been gone for a few minutes, and I don't know if he's bringing his ass back. So, we waiting on the narrator to come back. I promise you I'm still here. I'm still playing the game. I'm sitting right here in front of the TV. But the narrator said, don't push the skip button. He's going to find us a door and all that cool shit. So I'm waiting on him to find us a damn door. But his ass has been gone for a little minute. And I'm starting to get impatient. But I'm trying to get out the confusion ending. Like, this is a fun game. It's weird. But it is tight. appreciate y'all coming by. You know what I'm saying? Dog, if you don't come back, I'm finna have to hit that button on your ass. Finna have to hit the button on your ass. Hey, salute to whoever liked the content. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think I've been playing long enough for done anything for y'all to like, but I'm glad y'all liking it. And I think we finna hit the fucking button, because I don't think the narrator's coming back. You know what I'm saying? What y'all know about the Splenda Blender? You know what I'm saying? Splenda Blenda. It might be Splenda Bender. One of the two. Salute D Slim No G though. Narrator. You know what? We about to Google this shit. How long do we wait for the narrator? Oh, that's Noah be gone. Maybe that shit'll melt up soon. I don't think he's gonna be able to find the door. I might have to hit the skip button. If you press the skip, has an error, it says I can skip a second paragraph, and will not come back for us, and for a long time, potentially minutes or even hours, depending on how many times you skip with the game. Sometimes exaggerating time pass with lines like it's been 12, I think it's been a week. Okay, here we go. So, is he fucking coming back? Oh, buddy said he waited for 15 minutes. You know what? I don't think this nigga coming back. We're not.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room.
I thought you was gonna get some doors.
Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone.
So do I gotta restart?
I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you?
Because I was waiting.
I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me.
Why is this
the
about
merest
my life?
mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself.
What the fuck?
I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment.
Oh my God.
What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this?
That's
And here I
crazy.
am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening if only I'd held my
Oh
tongue.
my God, dude.
It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And
That's
surely
so
you'll
funny.
put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship.
Are you
Surely
fucking
you'll not be
serious?
moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, 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 I know you too well. You'll be leaving me at... Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews
is
that I couldn't get out
crazy
of my
as
head. I
hell.
just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me
Because
to
I'm
fix
not a
the
fucking
problem?
deadbeat, and that
Why
bitch
did
said I was
Cookie
a fucking
Nine's
deadbeat.
opinion matter so much
When I
to me?
took-
I've never
Oh
even
my-
met Cookie
dude, what the
Nine.
fuck?
I have no idea
tell
who
him-
they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as
Didn't you just say
impetulant
this,
as
though?
a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful
Nigga, you
fury
just said
to
this,
alter
though.
and to change and to break anything unbroken, if
See, if
only
I
it
hit the
pleases
button
this
again.
one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am,
Have
now
y'all
stuck
played
in a
this?
room, waiting for you to
The-
press
the-
this button and to become frozen in time,
Maybe
knowing
it's
that you're
the
going
doors.
to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I have
Come
the power
on.
to prevent it all from happening, if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just
Do I
your
restart,
decision
or do
as
I
to
hit the skip
exactly
button?
when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone? Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, 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 I know you too well. You'll be leaving me at... Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews.
Narrator,
Those
come on,
reviews
big
that I
dog.
couldn't get out of my head.
What
I
you
just
got
couldn't
going on,
ignore
man?
the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become
See,
as
I wanna hit the
impetulant
fucking
as a
button.
child, wild and impulsive. I can't
This
help
is the
myself.
third time you've
I can't
said
stop
this
myself
shit,
from
big dog.
lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For
My
whose
God.
benefit is this?
Please don't.
Here I am.
Do I need to restart? Like, you kind of get me right now.
I am now stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening, if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer.
Man,
to leave
come
me all alone.
on. I don't know
Surely
what to
you
do.
will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship.
Yeah, I really want to see what's
Surely
next.
you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, 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 I know you too well. You'll be leaving me. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback.
It'd be
Why
like
was it so important for me to fix the problem?
Bro.
Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much
Come
to me?
on,
I've never even met...
You get up a fucking...
Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I
It's
think
dark.
it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
Do we got
I've
a
been sitting
door
here
again?
all that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with.
I'm
And
sorry.
you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close.
Yeah,
Because
the lights
I
are
know
out.
you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley, not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe,
Thanks.
Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real.
That's fucking
Maybe
deep.
I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying.
Hey!
I can tell that I am becoming less
This
and
tree
less
died.
real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world again, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you? You can see what this means to me. I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it, to think of returning to such coldness. Come, let us sit in silence together here for just a moment. Let us anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
Okay. So we're gonna sit in silence with the narrator. He said a moment, but I don't know how long that's gonna be. You know, y'all come to watch me play the game, but it ain't much playing right now. I'm on Google how long is the moment of silence with the narrator, 'cause this shit is wild. Y'all, hey, have good credit. Pay your credit cards on time if you can. And try to stay under 30% utilization for all, but 10%, they'll really trust you. My shit jumped up something crazy. But I don't know how credit works. They don't teach us that in school. But, you know, it's decent. Like, it's good. Alright, how long do I have a moment? Oh, this is a completely different ending. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to wait on the narrator. Ah, shit. What the hell? I think I'm supposed to skip. Um, I think I had to keep skipping. Okay. We're gonna hit the button. Sorry, narrator.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest...
Well, shit. Is the narrator gonna talk to me?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think, to feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves that they couldn't help but leave a negative review on pressurized gas.
Young bastards.
Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me. Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down. This, you can see, is clearly why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny. that it'd be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it amused. But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromised...
Alright, my nigga, you already said that.
The end is never the end, 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 is never.
Oh, it's really dripping now. How long have I been in here? Alrighty. Oh, that's what they was talking about. All right, how the hell do I get out of here? This building is getting dilapidated. Hey, well, this is getting kind of fucking dangerous, don't you think? Ladder's knocked over. Hey, that fern didn't grow here. We can hear the beautiful birds now. Alrighty. Next. And now it's dark and creepy. That's freaking me the fuck out. Okay, this is what I was talking about. Hey! Alright, so I'm gonna just wander, and then I think the game is gonna start itself over. Because it doesn't tell me nothing. So I'm pretty sure the game will restart here in a minute. Well, into the vast desert. Salute to who's in here with me. It's your boy Marbo Games playing the Stanley Parable. And alrighty. There it is. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alrighty. New content. Then I gotta use the boss's bathroom.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, let's see what happens.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Was it 2845?
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
See, this has never happened before. Alright. Okay. We're going down, in an earlier round. The fact that this game keeps changing is crazy. Alrighty.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
See, I died last time I done this.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Yeah, let's not do that.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
But we've been here before.
The lights rose on an
And all the
enormous room
monitors are
packed
gonna
with
come
television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
It's gotta be a different ending. Why aren't the monitors coming on? Oh, because you gotta press this button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Okay.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yeah, this didn't happen.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Okay.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay. Then I definitely should have went to the new content. But I something about I needed a bucket.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
No.
It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
1,
What's that?
2.
You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Oh!
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing.
Yeah, please,
Watching
man.
you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock.
Why are you like this?
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing
At
right
all.
now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Why are you like this?
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble.
Wow.
This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
Where is...
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same.
Can I get
all
out?
part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Okay. So I need to listen to the narrator. This shit is so crazy.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. You know what? We're going this way.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Like, what are y'all doing with this game? Y'all still in here, man. Comment, like the content, you know what I'm saying? We still out here. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know what the hell is going on, though.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Why do you keep fucking with me?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely
end is
new
never the
experience,
end.
built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Hey, there's that fern I was supposed to remember.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
These niggas wild. I ain't gonna lie, mama got it hot as fuck in this motherfucker. I'm gonna take my damn shirt off.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Hey, is that the bucket? Hear your name in the game. Okay. Okay, this
epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Okay, new and easy free trophy. I probably... Okay, free trophy, infinite hold. Let's get the free trophy. Well, hell yeah. Pull the lever.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, there's no... Alright, well...
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Okay. Well, you tricked me about the free fucking trophy. Alright, let's go do the...
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
You're so fucking rude, my man. Alright. Can you find them? Alright, so we're looking for...
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Another jump circle? Infinite hole.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
Uh,
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Are y'all serious? See? See what I'm saying?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Why do I feel like you're taking a shot at Portal? Why would I want to do that, though? I need to find the Stanley collectibles. Yeah, this is a hell of a game. They played me there. We done collectibles. I can exit. Oh, we need to do the reassurance bucket. Alright, yeah, let's fuck out of here.
Oh, goodness, Stanley, this is fairly awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to the bucket exhibit. You see, there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves the bucket. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the bucket, okay? All right, I'll get out of your hair now.
Alright, yeah.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's
There's
true.
no bucket here.
As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Nigga, why are you laughing, man?
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
436, what do I feel like that's important? Okay.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
This button says the name of the player in the game. I don't see a button. I definitely want to hear my name in the game. Okay.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now,
So my
the
name's
button
not
only
Jim.
says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust.
What the fuck, man?
Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
What are we gonna do, Big Daddy? Alright, let's see if we can get the fuck out of here. And I can't hit none of these buttons. Alright, let's
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
I don't want to do that. Hey, can I exit since I got the bucket? That didn't say that before. So y'all fucking with me, man. I've only seen one of those collectibles too. Settings World Champion, sure. What is that? Okay. Do we go to the infinite hole? I really don't know why the fuck I got this bucket. But the infinite hole, why do I feel like that's not gonna do nothing? You know what, fuck it.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
If it's an infinite hole, what are you talking about? I want to see how...
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Are you fucking lying?
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
I didn't say
Why
nothing,
don't we
you
just
fucker.
put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Alrighty. The fact that I still got this fucking bucket. So you was gonna fucking lie to me about the hole being infinite. You're a sneaky guy, Mr. Narrator. Okay, what else you got for me? Can I exit now? The free trophy don't work. I ain't got no more jumps. Well, that's funny. He's changed it. Then the gym button. Well, how the fuck was that new? You just fucking played me, dog. Office decorations. I got that bucket. Then y'all play me with Jim. No, let's go back and hit that motherfucker one more time. Maybe something will happen.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Well, open that door for me. Alrighty. I'm really walking around with this bucket. It's not making me more reassured or nothing.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Well, fuck you, man.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Alright.
Come now. You've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
Well, facts. The fact that I'm walking around with this damn bucket. Alright, that's a mostly infinity hole. I guess we're gonna try that this is new. But I think it takes me nowhere. No. Then where is the exit? mama got it hot in this camp. That's funny. That doesn't work. Okay, exit. Maybe that brick wall won't come up now. Oh, that's fucking creepy. That door didn't close behind me.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, didn't I just?
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction,
Deluxe.
This is the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay.
Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Are you restarting the game? What the hell is going on with this game? So am I not playing? Y'all have done a good job with this shit.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order
Man, I
had arrived
appreciate
on the
whoever
monitor
been in
for
here
him
watching
to
this
follow.
long. If you
No one
seems
had
like
showed
y'all
up
been
to
here the
give him
whole episode.
instructions,
You
call
know,
a
you can
meeting,
talk to your
or
boy,
even
you know
say
what I'm saying?
hi.
I don't mind.
Never in all his years
your
at the
boy up
company
in the comments.
had
We can
this
sure
happen.
have a chat
This
conversation.
complete
You know what I'm saying?
isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were
Hey,
gone.
balloons
What
are
did it
everywhere
mean?
now.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Is this not the Stanley Parable too? This game.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up.
Where's
Why
it
was
at?
he not doing it?
Oh, because I missed
Stanley
it.
picked up the bucket.
Hey, is the new content? Well, it's a different game, supposedly.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
We've done that before.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Two 845.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Come
Yes,
on, man. You
this
know
is
I've done
certainly
this
the most
before.
logical explanation.
Because, yeah, the game's fucking with me. Hey, there's another collectible.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Can I get the DNA sequence?
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Ever since I got the bucket.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
See how he brought up the bucket this time? Like he...
But of course, Stanley and the bucket thought better of it and realized they simply had too much to live for.
Okay.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I like how it's personifying this bucket. I ain't gonna lie, this game kind of far. That's the cameras.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never!
Okay, we've done this.
He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good.
Yeah, I can see last time he blew my ass out.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support.
See, it got stuck.
Wait, what was happening?
Did I just fall?
Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room.
Fuck.
But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
If y'all fucking restart.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Sure. Alright. That's different. Maybe one in the broom.
Oh
No, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Sure. Two, 8, 4, 5.
Here's the door. Just go.
What the? Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Again.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yada yada yada. The screens come on, everybody.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where
I was gonna try to
freedom
stay
meant
up
nothing.
and watch the snow come down, but I fell asleep last night. Make sure y'all, if you care, watch the video I posted today. You know, cause hey, look here, it may be grim, it may not look the best right now, but you're gonna be alright.
This
You gonna
mind
bounce
control
back.
facility,
You
it was
know.
too horrible to believe. It couldn't
Life
be
is
true.
somewhat, you know
Had
what I'm
Stanley
saying?
really been under someone's
But like I
control all
said,
this
now
time?
you know, now
Was this
you
the
have a
only
better
reason he was
understanding
happy
of
with
what,
his boring
you know.
job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Shit. I did get up at 9 o'clock and get y'all a video. I
He
reckon I'm
refused to
getting
believe
hard.
it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
See, the dialogue's changing.
But here was the proof. The
Alright,
heart
go
of the
cut it
operation.
off.
Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never...
Okay, it's off. Now what? I don't got the bucket, so I should be able to leave.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
No, because the end is never the end. Never the end.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
That's just crazy.
No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin. The feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Alrighty, we're here again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
But I can't leave if I take that bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
But I'm gonna have to swap it up. So I can't even...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I got stuck in an infinite loop last time I done that. It ain't no more this shit could change again. Alright, still open, yada yada.
Here's the door, just go.
Then, bro, what the fudge? So we done this 1,000 times. But the broom closet was... Yeah, something's gonna have to change.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Alright, y'all, we'll do something different next go round.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Yeah,
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won.
Okay, so we
He
gotta
had
do something
defeated
different.
the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, Even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him.
I got some sour
For
punch.
it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Again.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the
Alright,
feeling
blah, blah,
of
blah.
liberation,
Start this shit over.
the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Alright, we're not going to the boss's shit this time. Hey, we're gonna take the bucket and go downstairs, and maybe that'll stop that one loop I went through.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Yeah,
But
we're doing
Stanley
this
had
shit
felt
different.
the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Say
Good.
shit.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I'm getting me some steak and lobster
In here.
Said the bucket.
next week.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Like, I'm gonna have me some shrimp skewers. And, you know. And that shit, you know what I'm saying? Make me a little salad or some shit.
Now pick up the phone.
Oh,
Said
dude,
the
I hope
bucket.
this ain't
Pick
my,
up the phone and it will...
where the wife is like, oh, you made it
This
home.
is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Oh, I'm still in control. What? This is new. Did me and the bucket get an apartment together? Sunsets and regrets. Okay. Am I stuck? Hey, it's the bucket.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Okay.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Where's the bucket? Shit. Back to work.
Well, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Okay, well, I need to go back to the skipway.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time, it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Why would I?
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
I don't believe you're real, bucket.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another. Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket.
I don't know where to
Why
find
do I
water
feel
now.
some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
What is going on?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
We're going down.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Hey.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all.
That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious,
I've done this
he
one
exclaimed.
before.
Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley! Find me!
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from.
His own head.
The real bucket was inside of him all along.
When it...
It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Okay.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
And I was
She
laid
rose, got
outside.
dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and
Oh,
security,
no,
and
this
walked to
not
her
what-
place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Yeah, this shit.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
We need to take this bucket.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms
we need
again,
to,
he
but that
was
was
home.
the skip. And since we ain't got the new
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meet, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good Stanley, I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
What the?
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the adventure line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Who's driving?
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
The bucket.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Now the bucket's indestructible.
The Bucket Destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent. Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Damn it, I didn't get the bucket. So I don't even know how to get back to that one ending.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yada yada, God damn it. There's the door.
Here's the door, just go. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
We're gonna call it right here. Thank y'all for coming through if y'all came through. If you're watching this in post, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate the hell out of you too. Have a good one.